So I've been watching Knights of Guinevere, the pilot that was on YouTube, and I thought I'd treat myself to the art book. I love the book, it is fab. It's not a sponsored video, by the way. I just saw this image of Princess Guinevere in there. I thought, wouldn't she be fab as a cake? And I've not made a doll cake for a while, so I'm a little bit rusty. So good chance for me to have another go. She's quite big to make it worthwhile, kind of size-wise for cake in the skirt, I guess. I'm going to make her body out of modeling paste. I'm going to use Saracino. There is a discount code for 10% off on their website. I'll put that on screen. The modeling paste is so that it sets nice and firm on her body. Now, it's going to be quite heavy, so I am going to use a polystyrene ball in her head, but you can swap and use Rice Krispie treats instead. So we're not going to be able to eat her head. We can eat the cake, but not the head part. So I'm pushing it onto a wooden dowel. So these ones are specifically for like cake decorating. And I've gone with kind of a bluey grey mixed together for her face. And we want to push the polystyrene into there. So like I say, you can use Rice Krispie treats instead if you prefer, if you know that you want to eat like the head. Although there's still going to be quite a lot of icing on here. So probably, well, I personally wouldn't eat this much icing. It's more for decoration. So we're going to smooth it onto the polystyrene ball and we're going to try and create like her actual face shape. And you can see I printed myself off a template. I actually found this image on the internet and I just printed it to the size I wanted it to be. And I'm going to hold her face next to it so I can kind of mark on where all the different bits want to be. Now, I apologize, I'm not kind of talking you through in a lot of detail with making the face. However, I did do a live video on here on YouTube of me making the face. So if you want to watch me making the face in real time, that is still here on the YouTube channel for you to watch back at any time. You get to see where it goes wrong and everything in the live. Whereas on here, I've just kind of cut it a little bit shorter to get in some of the main bits so you can just see like a quick version of the face. But yeah, the live was only making the face. Okay, so she's got a really tiny nose. And despite me kind of printing off a template and putting this right next to it so I could see what I was doing to try and get everything the same, she still didn't end up the same. I was really hoping that, she would end up just like in the picture. But yeah, she didn't. The chin was a little bit too big on mine, as well as me giving her like a slightly wonky mouth. But hopefully it was still okay. I mean, I was only making it really for fun. So, it wasn't for anyone. So the mouth, I am using sort of these rubber-ended chair art tools around just to help me kind of push lips in place. And the eye sockets, usually I kind of create a hole for the eye socket. This time I've just kind of marked them in and then I'm kind of putting a thin piece of white modeling paste over the top of that and just stretching it till it meets the edges. Then we just got a thinly rolled black circle for the pupil. Again, modeling paste. And I'm actually using edible pens. And I know you're going to say, well, why bother with edible pens? Because it's a piece of polystyrene in the middle of her head. But I'm still going to put everything on the surface of her as edible, even though I'm not going to be letting anybody eat her face. So I've gone with a couple of different blues for that. And then white dot for like the highlight in her eye. I want some more of the black modeling paste rolled nice and thin for the bottom eyelashes, but also for the top, but slightly thicker for the top. She does have thinner lashes to go on as well, but we'll put those on a bit later, I think. And then I'm going to use those pens again for her lips. Now, I couldn't decide what colour lips she had. I didn't know. I should have really just rewatched the pilot again, really, so I could see. I think like in some pictures, they were slightly like a pale purple, and in others, they were blue. So I've gone for blue. I also did kind of put them on a little bit wonky by accident. Okay, eyebrows on. And then we can add some powder dust to her. So this is, again, edible dust powders. It's not my makeup palette, if that's what people think. Usually that's what people think, because it does kind of look like an eyeshadow palette. Oh my goodness, I can't talk today. But yeah, these are, I'll put links below. They're like for cake decorating and using on food. So I'm just darkening some areas and then let's paint those individual lashes on. So this time I'm using loose powder color, but mixed with clear alcohol. So it creates a paint. And you want to stick to using a pretty nice thin brush. I find it almost impossible to get them the same on both of the eyes though. They usually end up a little bit uneven. And I'm just going over the lip line just to thicken the lips a tiny bit. And then let's just add a tiny bit more white to the eyes. Let's give her kind of a bit more of a little reflection in there, like a bit of a star. So the front cover of my book, her eyes have got like these silver stars in and it looks really cool. So these aren't silver, but I kind of thought that idea was nice to put on here. Okay, polystyrene balls again. So these are going to be for like the side bits of her hair, like her buns. Is that what you call them, buns? Again, keep the weight down by putting polystyrene or Rice Krispie treats in. And then all I'm going to do is once that's covered in the modelling paste, I am going to just put in a couple of little lines. Again, I keep looking at the drawings of her in the book to try and work out where they go. Despite me looking at them, they still never end up the same no matter what I do. But there we go. They'll go on each side of the head. So let's stick her on a neck. And I'm just going to kind of wrap it around, pinch it at the back, and then trim it off. And then I'll try and rub kind of the seam up onto her head, but we will cover that up with hair anyway. And can you see how I've tried to make it look like it's slanting? So you don't want the neck to be completely upright. It does want a bit of a slant. Then we're going to go for kind of a big kind of teardrop-ish shape for the body. Again, still using the modelling paste all the time for this because it will need to set pretty firm. So we're going to cut a bit off the top. I think it's still a bit wide, a bit off the bottom. I'm kind of rubbing on where I want the boobs to go. Again, I don't think I got these the right size, but later on in the video, I decided that actually this is way too big. And I don't think I actually film it, but I kind of with a knife shave this down even smaller than what it is at the moment. But let's just trim off those shoulders. What I'll do is I'll add the shoulders later with the arms. And we'll just press underneath the boobs for a bit more definition. I am just going to sharpen the end of my wooden dowel just to make a hole in the body. If I don't sharpen the dowel, it kind of squashes the body when I put the dowel through. So having that nice sharp bit just helps it push through without distorting the shape of it too much. Okay, sorry, I filled in the neck with a little bit of paste. And then you can see I've kind of drawn rough lines on here to try and work out the size and the amount of cakes I will need to go in the skirt. So you see, I've said, we'll need an 8-inch, a 6-inch, etc. And I'm going to get some filling ready. I'm going to colour up because I don't know if any of you guys have watched the programme. There's a lot of kind of blue for the internal parts of it. I won't say more than that. So I'm going to dye the pistachio paste blue. I'm also going to dye the buttercream blue. My buttercream actually was a little bit runnier than I would have liked. Would I mix the blue in again? I don't think so. Yeah, that didn't come off my tongue for quite a while, despite me brushing my teeth a couple of times. So now I am going to stack my cakes up and we are going to use the mix of the buttercream and the pistachio together. And also, yeah, the blue has stained my fingernails. So I'm just going to, oh goodness, I get it everywhere. I get it on absolutely everything. So we're just going to layer up the cake a little bit at a time. I'll be honest, even though I planned out what size cakes they were going to be, can you see my bottom ones? I didn't end up doing an 8-inch one, so they're a little bit narrow, but it's fine. I'll fill it out a little bit with ganache later. I'll try and cut it to shape. And sorry, I was telling you, wasn't I, that I had mixed the pistachio and the buttercream together and I've just put it in really thin layers rather than putting a lot on. It's a little bit wobbly. It's not the sturdiest of cakes at the moment. So I'm going to put it in the fridge, firm it up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add this PME hollow dowel. So this is one that you would use kind of for stacking wedding cakes with, but I'm just going to put one in the middle of here. It's going to help hold it together, but it also means I'm going to be able to attach the body and the head to it easier later on. So I'm just going to kind of carve this roughly to the shape, and you'll be able to see that I don't get it even. Like, it's a bit wonky looking. It's just more like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which at the time of making it, I didn't notice. I wish I'd taken a step back and looked at her before covering her in ganache so that I could have just done a little bit more cutting at one side to, level her off and make her look not wonky. So there we go. Covering her in a layer of ganache. I'm going to try and smooth it down a bit with a flexible smoother because I want it to be rounded at the top. Also, my cakes were supposed to come to the kind of height of that dowel, and you can see they don't. So I'm going to go on with a second layer of ganache. Also worth mentioning, it's pretty warm in here, which doesn't help when you're ganaching and doing the cakes. It just makes everything a little bit softer and less sturdy than it might be normally. Back in the fridge, and then what I'm going to do is, while that's firming up, or while the ganache is firming up, I am going to work on the hair. We've got a piece for the back. We'll try and keep it slightly domed to kind of create a head shape at the back because the head was a bit flat at the back. Kind of like pressing on a little shower cap, pressing it on nice and firmly, and then I'm going to put a line up the middle for kind of like a center parting, and then she would have some hairlines coming out towards where the buns will stick. And again, I've not made up where the lines are going. I'm just looking at the images in the book for reference for whereabouts I should put them. And then these are going to go on each side later. So let's do a big piece of hair for like the front of her head. I think it's just like almost like a single little curl that comes up. So it's kind of a teardrop-ish shape with the end bent up, and then it's squidged nice and firmly onto her forehead. Now these buns are gonna still be heavy, even though there's polystyrene in the middle, so I'm gonna put a cocktail stick through her head, and then we're gonna push this on each side. You can use a bit of water or edible glue in between them to just make sure they are securely in place. And then next, what we're going to do is like the front pieces of her hair. I feel like I should have put a picture of her up at the side of the screen so you could see what I was aiming for as I'm making her, especially then you can tell what these bits are going to be. But yeah, so we've got like a pale purple on one side and blue on the other, same color as the hair. I want to fold it over at the ends. Now I'm a bit worried that these might break, so I might need to give them a bit of drying time. I'm going to fold it over at the top. Now I don't want it to dry too much, otherwise we won't be able to actually press it on in place. So we'll stick it to the top of the head. They do want to flop down, because I've got her laying on her back, they want to kind of disappear to the back, so we'll just rest it on a stick. Now let's sort out the problem of that skewer being a bit tall. I could have just cut it down, but the height of that dowel, not skewer, was the height I wanted the cake to be. And we're going to push her into this now. So if you're wondering why it's so hard to get her in, and don't put loads of pressure on her head like what I have done, I actually filled that hollow dowel with fondant because I didn't want the wooden dowel that's in her to wobble about inside it, but it actually made it really hard for me to put it on. But there we go. That's why it looked difficult. So I'm then going to cover the skirt or her dress part in blue fondant, and I'm going to have it so it's got a seam at the back because we're going to have another layer at the back. And this is when I put this on that I realised actually it's quite lumpy bumpy. Now, you can spend time smoothing it out, which I should have really spent longer smoothing it out, and I didn't. I was getting a bit frustrated with it being quite warm. My patience runs out quickly when it's warm weather. Yeah, I'm going to use the Saracino fondant again. And there's just a reminder of the discount code. It is an affiliate link, guys. So if you guys do use that code and get the 10% off, I get a small proportion of what you've spent as well. I'll put a link to it all below the video as well for you all. Okay, so a white layer, trying to go a bit thinner. And yeah, I'm really not happy with how lumpy bumpy my cake is. I should have spent longer smoothing down that ganache and also smoothing down the fondant as well, I think. From a distance, it looks okay. But yeah, I guess I'm looking at it quite close up. I'm going to have another layer of cake now, but this time we're going to go for blue. And it's kind of the top layer of the dress. And it has these two weird tail bits at the back. So I'm not sure if I've gone about the best way of doing it, but I'm going to wrap it from the back. If it's a bit too big at the front, that's fine. We can trim that off. I just want to make sure the tails at the back are long enough. I'm calling them tails. I don't really know what they would be called. Does it sound like the right thing to call them? So let's put a bit of water underneath them to stick them just here. And then what I'm going to do is try and kind of twist or flick over the end part of it. Again, I think I'm going to need a bit more water to just hold that in place because it doesn't want to hold on its own. And remember, this is fondant that I'm using this time, so it is much softer than the modelling paste that I used on her body. So what I'm going to do is put another thin layer of blue, this time on her back, and we're just going to cut it into like a bit of a V shape. It will look a bit scruffy at first, but it should hopefully look neater when I've got more layers on. Then I'm going to use the same colour blue, and we're going to kind of create these bits of, I don't really know what you call them. They go on her hip. Part of her dress that kind of sits over her hip. It looks very futuristic, this bit. But we want it thick at one side, which will be the side we press against the dress, and thin at the other side, which will be the bit that kind of just sticks out. Hopefully you can tell what I mean when I'm sticking it on. Okay, so both of them are on in place. Now let's do a little bit of shading on a thin piece of like pale purple paste. I'm going to put purple at the top, pink at the bottom, and we're going to cut out the shape for like underneath her bodice. And I cut it out by hand, and then afterwards just thought, why did I not just use a heart-shaped cutter? That would have been way easier for me to just find a heart cutter and use that. But never mind, it's done. And hopefully it will fit on her. I'm just going with a bit of blue on the top. So water on her body, ready to stick this in place. And then we're just going to place that on there like so. And she will have another layer of white to go over the top. I'm going to press that on. Now, I wanted the white to be long enough that it kind of covered her body and came to the edges of this blue bit here. And obviously, my plan wasn't to leave it over the edge like that. Doing half at the back, half at the front, cut out another V at the back. And then I was just going to trim this, but it was too untidy. So I just took loads of that off and just left it on the body. Then she needed these little, are they called star shapes? Is it a star? It is a star, isn't it? What's the name for that specific shape? Let me know in the comments below. They're going to go on her bunches, and then she's got like a gold necklace thing. Mine's very bright yellow, so I'll try and put some colour on it later to kind of tone that down. So we've got a piece that goes on the back and a piece for the front. She also has like a matching one just at the back on her bum. And then I needed to make some hands. Now I apologize, guys, I didn't film making the hands. I make hands in lots of my other doll cake videos on here on my YouTube channel, so do have a look at those for if you want to learn hands. Alternatively, I do actually have online classes as well that are way more detailed, where we make like body parts and full bodies really, including hands. You can find them on my website. I'll put links below to the website if you're interested in any of that kind of thing as well. Okay, so they're both attached onto the arms, and there is a cocktail stick running through so that it is firmly attached. Otherwise, their arms are quite thin. I think they would just kind of flop. And then she's got like these weird like sleeves, which they want to flop over on my figure, but that's fine. They kind of look like they bend in that direction anyway, so I think it should be fine. So I'm going to trim it to shape once it's on there. It's a little bit untidy on the inside of the arm, but I'm hoping you can't really tell. And then I'm just going to now add some colour all over to her. So I'm just using the edible powders. You can see I've got the book in the background just that I'm using for reference. I don't think I painted it the same colours as in the book, but I think it's okay. So there she is, all finished. I added a bit of blue to the bottom of the dress, which might be a bit OTT. But yeah, I'm not 100% happy with how she turned out. But like I say, from a distance, she looks okay. I think it's just that I had such high hopes. But let's have a look at what she's like inside. Lots of blue buttercream. Who wants a piece? I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.